or web transactions. You will also discover the different ways in which personal information can be falsely acquired on the Internet. Finally, you will learn about the various ways to protect and secure your browsing data, as well as your online information from others. To start, click the Next button. Nowadays, you can shop online from the comfort of your home or office. Due to the convenience of use, online shopping through e-commerce websites is fast gaining popularity. The number of people buying or selling things over the Internet is increasing every day. So whether you're planning to shop online for the first time or already doing it regularly, learning about e-commerce websites and the security issues related to Internet shopping will make your online transactions easy and safe. The payment for online purchases is done mostly using credit or debit cards or via Internet banking. However, divulging such financial details on e-commerce websites should not be done indiscriminately. If the transactions are not handled securely by the website, then hackers can retrieve credit card numbers and other sensitive information to make unauthorized transactions. However, when a transaction is conducted on a secure e-commerce website, credit card numbers and other sensitive financial data are encrypted before being transmitted over the Internet, thus making it nearly impossible for hackers to access or steal the data. So how can you identify a secure website? When you type in the domain name of a secured website in Internet Explorer, such as www.google.com, the address field displays a lock icon on the left-hand side of the address bar. If you click on the lock icon, the details of the website, which includes the name of the organization that declared the website as legitimate to carry secure transactions, is displayed. Pharming is the act of manipulating users on the Internet by redirecting them to a website other than the legitimate website they intended to visit. When a website address is accessed, the domain name is translated into an IP, or Internet Protocol address. The IP address specifies the location of the website on the Internet. After a user visits a website from their computer device, a record of that website, referred to as a Domain Name Service Record, or DNS, is stored on the user's computer in a temporary file listing called a DNS cache. Here's where the pharmers take over. They attack this DNS cache via an email virus and modify important entries. So the next time when the user enters the domain name of that website, the domain name is translated to some other IP address, and the user is redirected to a fake website. If the website acts or looks different than what you expected, you may be a victim of pharming. What can you do if you suspect that you have fallen prey to pharming? Restart your computer to reset your DNS entries. Also, run an antivirus program to identify any threats or malicious activities. If the website still looks strange, contact your Internet Service Provider, or ISP, and let them know about the problem. A digital certificate, technically known as a Secure Socket Layer, or SSL certificate, is a file installed on the web server that identifies the authenticity of the website. SSL is used to establish the identity and authenticity of the company or business establishment, so that users can be sure that the websites they are visiting are legitimate. The websites are SSL certified by a third-party organization. After the verification company establishes that the organization and the associated website are legitimate, it issues a digital certificate for a small fee. This digital certificate is then installed on the web server for visitors to see. A one-time password, or OTP, as the name suggests, is a password that is valid for only one session or transaction. One-time passwords are more secure than static passwords because they become invalid as soon as the user finishes the session or transaction that they used the password for. Autocomplete is a feature to allow the computer to store and remember passwords and other information that you type into web form fields. When the autocomplete feature is enabled, Internet Explorer and other browsers automatically fills the saved information, like your name, age, address, and contact number, into the respective fields of any web form you're trying to submit. This feature helps in saving time, since you do not have to type the same information all over again the next time you visit the same web page. Let's see the steps to enable or disable autocomplete in Microsoft Edge. Open Microsoft Edge and click on the menu in the upper right corner. Select Settings from the drop-down menu and click on Personal Info. Here you can enable or disable the option to save and autofill your basic information in forms, such as your phone number or email address. You can also choose to enable or disable the option to save and fill in your personalized information, such as your passport number or even your account number. A cookie is a small amount of data generated by any website that you have visited and sent to your computer to be stored in the browser cache. Every time you visit the same website, the browser sends this data back to the website to notify it of your previous activities. Cookies are extensively used in e-commerce websites, with the help of which the websites can remember which items you browsed or bought the last time you visited the website. Let's see how you can change the Edge settings to control cookies on your computer. In Edge, click on the menu in the upper right corner. Select Settings from the drop-down menu and click on Cookies and Site Permissions option on the left-hand side. Click on the Manage and Delete Cookies and Site Data option. You can choose to block all cookies by disabling the option Allow sites to save and read cookie data. Here you can also view and delete all cookies and data stored for the sites you have visited. Do not forget to clear your Internet browsing history at least once a week. Cookies should be turned off or cleared so that sensitive information is never stored on the system. You can perform the following steps to clear browsing history, temporary Internet files, cookies, passwords, and so on. To do that, open Microsoft Edge and click on the menu in the upper right corner. Select Settings from the drop-down menu and click on Privacy, Search and Services. Select Choose What to Clear under the Clear Browsing Data section. Under Time Range, you can choose a time range from the list. Check the boxes next to each category of information you want to delete, and then select Clear Now. All your cookies and other site data will now be deleted for the time range you selected. It is recommended to delete these files regularly. However, Always be careful when selecting what you want to delete, since some stored files help the browsers to load web pages faster. Content control software is used to restrict or block content that is accessible to the users on the Internet. Broadly, there are two types of content control software: Internet filters and parental controls. Click each to learn more. Internet filters are software tools that can help monitor web content viewed on a particular computer or network. Parental controls are software and service tools that are designed to help parents and caregivers monitor children's computer use, filter web content, manage email contacts, and set boundaries for socializing online. It is wise to be cautious when using social networking sites, and you should always be aware of the implications of disclosing confidential information online. Often unknowingly, confidential information, such as trade and business secrets, are disclosed by an employee on social media platforms. It is also important to limit the level of personal information that is shared on social networking websites. Since personal information can be viewed by anyone, there is a risk of cybercriminals stealing or manipulating the information to adversely affect your personal security and privacy. Anyone with access to your personal information on social networks can find out personal details such as your address, contact number, daily schedule, frequently visited places, and so on. Such information could be used against you. To address this privacy and security issue, many social networking websites provide an option to restrict who can view your information and posts on social media platforms. Before you start sharing your information online, make sure you know the social networking platform's privacy policies and are able to configure your account's privacy and security settings according to your preferences. To understand how you can specify privacy settings on social networking platforms, let us consider the popular social networking site Facebook. Facebook allows users to configure several privacy settings, which include who can see your future posts. Review all your posts and things you are tagged in. Limit the audience for posts you have shared with friends of friends or public. Who can send you friend requests? Whose message do you want filtered into your inbox? Who can look you up using the email address you provided? Who can look you up using the phone number you provided? Do you want other search engines to link to your Facebook timeline? You can configure each of these settings to ensure that you are divulging the right amount of private information and sharing it with the right type of people online. Personal information from social networking websites and other online activities can be misused in many ways. Let's see how. Fake accounts can be created using your personal information and photos. The accounts can be used to broadcast wrong or misleading information about you to people online. For instance, stalkers can take advantage of the easy availability of personal information to select their victims. One could easily be a victim of cyberbullying. It is the use of information technology to harm or harass other people in a deliberate, repeated, and hostile manner. Many companies can obtain your email ID and use it for online marketing. Therefore, it is important not to make your personal email ID visible to everyone on your social networking profile. Knowledge check. practical exercises. You have completed the lesson Secure Web. In this lesson, you learned that transactions are to be done on secure websites. Sensitive information is encrypted and then sent, and the URL of secure websites starts with HTTPS. You learnt farming is the process of redirecting users to a false website and gaining sensitive information. Digital certificates are used to validate the legitimacy of a website. Always check for a website's digital certificate. One-time password are passwords that are valid for one session or transaction. Autocomplete is the feature that automatically fills in the web forms with the values typed in previously. Cookies are data that generated by a website and sent to the computer to be stored in the browser and help the websites remember user preferences. Private data, such as browsing history and cache, should be deleted frequently. Content control software is an application that enables parents and employers to restrict a certain kind of content.